Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eamonn Holmes, never one to shy away from controversy, lit up GB News with an impassioned rant about what he sees as a growing problem in Britain. A culture of fear and political correctness that prevents honest discussions about religion, identity, and British values. As the holy month of Ramadan approached, Holmes took the opportunity to express his frustration with what he called the frightened state of Britain, accusing both the public and politicians of tiptoeing around important issues to avoid causing offense. Sitting in his GB News chair, eyes ablaze with indignation, Holmes wasted no time diving into the topic. "Why are we so scared?" he began, voice steady but loaded with disdain. "Every year, it's the same thing. We bend over backwards to accommodate everyone but ourselves. Meanwhile, ordinary Brits are left feeling like foreigners in their own country. It's Ramadan, and of course, we respect that. But what about the people who feel they can't even say Merry Christmas without getting side-eyed at the office? Why are we frightened to stand up for our own traditions?" Holmes's tirade was, at its core, not about Ramadan itself, but rather what he views as a broader issue: a Britain that's lost its backbone. He argued that political correctness has mutated into a kind of societal paralysis, where legitimate conversations about integration, religious expression, and British identity are dismissed as bigotry before they can even begin. He went on, jabbing a finger towards the camera, as if pointing directly at those he saw as responsible. "It's not the people celebrating Ramadan who are the problem. It's the politicians and media elites who are terrified of being called names. They're so scared of a Twitter backlash that they've forgotten how to do their jobs. They've forgotten they're supposed to represent everyone in this country, not just the loudest voices." Holmes's frustration was palpable, and his words seemed to resonate with viewers tired of the usual sanitized commentary. The phone lines buzzed with callers eager to weigh in, some agreeing wholeheartedly, others accusing Holmes of stoking division. But if the criticism fazed him, he didn't show it. Instead, he doubled down, arguing that real unity comes from open conversation, not from silencing dissent. "Look," he continued, voice rising, "how can we even begin to tackle these issues if we're too frightened to talk about them honestly? We've got a prime minister who barely dares to mention Christmas, councils that remove Street George flags because they're offensive, and schools that won't teach about Easter but make a point of highlighting every other religious holiday. If that's not a sign of a frightened Britain, I don't know what is." His words struck a nerve, igniting debates across social media. Clips of his rant spread quickly, drawing both praise and scorn. Supporters lauded Holmes for saying what we're all thinking, while critics accused him of creating a false narrative and exaggerating the issue. Some pointed out that Britain has long been a multicultural society, capable of celebrating diverse traditions without erasing its own. Others argued that Holmes was right to call out what they saw as an increasing reluctance to assert British culture. In the studio, Holmes seemed to relish the controversy. As the segment wore on, he broadened his critique, slamming what he called performative tolerance, gestures by politicians and corporations that he claimed were more about virtue signaling than genuine inclusivity. "It's all hashtags and hollow statements," he scoffed. "They'll light up a building in green for Ramadan, but they won't lift a finger to address the real issues tearing communities apart. Knife crime, unemployment, housing, where's the action on that?" For Holmes, the problem was clear: a Britain more concerned with appearances than with substance, more frightened of causing offense than of solving real problems. He argued that this fear was not just frustrating but dangerous, leading to a society where people retreat into echo chambers rather than engaging with those who see things differently. As the rant reached its crescendo, Holmes issued a challenge to his viewers. "This is our country," he declared, voice firm. "It belongs to all of us, regardless of faith, background, or anything else. But if we can't even talk about these things without people losing their minds, then what hope do we have? We need to stop being so frightened of words, of opinions of each other. If we don't, the real divisions will only get worse. The segment ended, but the conversation had just begun. Calls flooded in, some accusing Holmes of fear-mongering, others thanking him for his candor. Meanwhile, pundits and columnists scrambled to respond, dissecting his words with all the usual fervor. But Holmes himself seemed unbothered by the backlash. After all, controversy has always been part of his brand. Love him or hate him, one thing was certain. Eamonn Holmes had managed, yet again, to get Britain talking. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Netflix World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.